What down, family? It's your boy SNTV coming back at y'all with another Chiraq Street Legends. And this episode is going to be about none other than William Stovall, aka Lil Mino.
I put in work, I put cats in the dirt, I make mothers feel hurt. I am the sin of sinners. The sins I committed to make Jesus rise from the dirt. God is my witness.
Mino comes from that Nuneworld set, formerly known as Insane City. They GDs from out of the Englewood neighborhood. Insane GDs to be exact. They also go by 063, Slice Block, G-Notch Gang, and ETS, or Elevate Through Silence. You can find them anywhere from 63rd to 65th, Damon and Hamilton. Their main block is 63rd and Hoyne. When Mino was out, they was clicked up with Dump Street, S-Dub, and they were locked in with the 6775 Alliance. They beefed with Motown, Taco Gang, and their main beefs were with Youngworld and Six Wolf. One thing about Englewood, the streets don't forget nothing. Not the dead homies, not the wars, not the rumors, and definitely not the shorties who made the whole city look over their shoulder every time a stroller rolled past. For William Stovall, better known as the streets as Lil Mino, a Nuneworld member from that Insane City lineage, a set of insane gangster disciples from 63rd and Hoyne, deep in the heart of Englewood, a block where silence was currency, and where young niggas learned early that survival was more important than growing up. They call themselves ETS, Elevate Through Silence, but the crazy part, ain't nobody from over there ever stayed silent for long, because once the guns started talking, the whole city heard them. Before the rumors, before the cases, before the internet turned his name into urban legend, Mino was just another Englewood shorty growing up around violence. See, one thing about that part of Chicago, kids don't grow up normal. They grow up hearing gunshots before bedtime stories.
Now y'all know SNTV loves some free cash, so I had to try this. And the good thing about it is, you could be in the bed, you could be at work, hell, you could be on the toilet and make money. Why not? Gas is high as hell out here, y'all. Get up to it. Either hit this QR code right here or click the link in the description and win some of this frizzle kizzle.
Most little boys learn cartoons. Them shorties learn gang maps. They knew which alley not to walk through, which gas station could get you killed, and they knew what side to hide their hat cocked to, where they wouldn't get killed. And somewhere in the middle of that chaos, Lil Mino started building a reputation. Not for rapping, not for hooping, for being on that. The type of shorty older members looked at and said, yeah, little dude crash out material. And by the time he hit his teenage years, the streets already knew his face. Now to understand Mino, you gotta understand Englewood during that era. This wasn't just regular gang beef. This was a war every single day. Youngworld and Nuneworld was into it heavy. Six Ward too. And every shooting created another funeral, which created another revenge mission, which created another body. It became a cycle. One generation dying before the next even got old enough to drink. And the street started whispering Mino's name more and more. Not loud though, quiet, like people genuinely feared saying too much. Because in Chicago, sometimes the most dangerous dude ain't the loudest. It's the quiet nigga smiling in the pictures. By 2012, Lil Mino's name would hit official paperwork. According to reports, an 18-year-old was charged in the West Englewood shooting. And this was around the time the streets were separating rumor from reality. Because online, people talked about Mino like he was already a demon. But in court, that's where things got spooky. Because somehow, case after case, he kept surviving. And in Chicago, being serious charges gives you a different type of reputation. It make people think you untouchable. And that's dangerous. Because once a young nigga start believing he could beat anything, he stopped fearing consequences.
The Lord knows I could get bent for this. I went and made it home to like 96. God is my witness. My niggas ain't loyal. My bond was 15 and they left me in jail. Shout out to Sierra. I love her forever. She stayed with that nigga when I was in jail. She got me through hell. Niggas, they call up my phone saying sorry we left you in jail. But niggas did, so fuck y'all as well. I beat the case, now I'm cocky as hell. Now guilty verdict. Nigga, I'm blessed. God is my witness. I pose got cracked. I pose got 90 plus years in the prison. I did and I beat it, so nigga, I'm blessed. Really, I am. I put in work. I put cats in the dirt. I make mothers feel hurt. I am the sinner of sinners. The sins I committed to make Jesus rise from the dirt. God is my witness. The struggles I've been through will make niggas crumble and make me no humble. I feel like the Malcolm on stride with a chop. I know niggas coming. Can't let niggas kill.
Now look, this next part, some of this became neighborhood legend. Some people swear it happened exactly this way. Others say the streets exaggerated it over time. But one rumor followed Lil Mino everywhere: the baby stroller story. According to the streets, there were whispers that Mino allegedly dressed up like a baby or moved around with a stroller doing drills to throw off ops. And the craziest version of the rumor, people claim shots came from the stroller itself. Now whether every detail was true or not, that story became so legendary around Englewood that folks started treating it like Chicago folklore. And honestly, only in Chicago could some shit like that even sound believable. Imagine seeing a stroller coming down the block, thinking somebody finna feed their baby. Whole time shorty's on defense mode. That's how paranoid the streets have became. Nobody trusted nothing. Not hoodies, not bikes, not Uber cars. Hell, apparently not even babies. And somewhere in the middle of all them rumors, Mino name got bigger, more feared, more controversial, and more dangerous. Kick this, to add to the rumor, the story goes, Mino was chilling on the block one night with the guys. A lady's rolling a stroller past. No baby is in it. She had just dropped her baby off. Mino made a bet with some guys that he could fit in the stroller. Mino sat down in the stroller and he looked it comfortable. Somebody said, damn, I bet you could probably slide in that. And allegedly, that's where he got the idea to slide on people in baby strollers. Now this where the story take another turn, because most street dudes live by one rule: don't testify. But court paperwork and cases connected to this whole era started painting a complicated picture around different shootings, alliances, street politics. And one thing about Chicago street wars, once cases start piling up, everybody start looking over their shoulder. Because now it ain't just ops, it's detectives, interrogation rooms, cell phone towers, and witness statements. And sometimes the same streets that glorify you be the same streets waiting to see you fall. One of the biggest moments connected to Mino's world came from the infamous Hyatt Regency situation involving Armonte Hooper. The case turned into a chaotic mix of gang politics, fighting, guns, and fear. Inside that hotel, tensions exploded between different groups. Witnesses described yelling, threats, and people talking about blicks. Then the violence escalated. The court documents described confusion, panic, and eventually gunfire.
Crime early this morning inside the lobby of the Hyatt Regency McCormick Place Hotel. Shots suddenly rang out during a party, and now one man is dead. Tonight, police are still looking for the gunman. NBC5's Alex Maragos has the latest on the investigation.
Dick, Courtney Taylor was shot during an altercation in that lobby, and right before it turned violent, we're told he was trying to break it up. Family members exit the Cook County Medical Examiner's office this afternoon, distraught over the loss of Courtney Taylor.
Yes, the crime tape has been taken down inside and outside of the hotel, the busy hotel, I should say. But inside the doors, there is still a black curtain blocking off the lobby where a fatal shooting took place at this location.
I heard just boom, just gunshot right there inside the hotel.
A shooting at the Hyatt Regency at McCormick Place in the 2200 block of South King Drive, a 4-star hotel and a very unusual scene.
Somewhere buried inside those court records, Lil Mino's name appeared as William Stovall. The documents describe him testifying about gang affiliations, weapons, and the atmosphere inside the hotel that night. That alone shocked a lot of people, because streets and courtrooms rarely mix cleanly. But the thing people remember most, them attempted murder charges. 6 attempts, and somehow he beat them. Now in Chicago, beating one serious case can make your reputation explode. But beating 6, man, that turned you into a myth. Shorty started talking about him like he was invincible, like police couldn't hold him, like cases slid off him. And whether fair or not, the streets reward survival, not morality. That's why some of the most respected names in Chicago history ain't rappers, they survivors.
Man, 18, charged in West Englewood shooting. An 18-year-old Chicago man fired into a crowd outside a South Side home Thursday night, wounding 5 people before fleeing directly into the hands of officers, authorities said. William Stovall wounded a 16-year-old girl and 4 others around 11 p.m. Thursday when he opened fire on the group in the 6300 block of South Walcott Avenue in the West Englewood neighborhood, according to a police report. On Sunday, Cook County Judge Laura Marie Sullivan ordered him held on $150,000 bond on a charge of aggravated discharge of a gun. Stovall was also charged with burglary in April, according to Cook County court records. Thirtis Boss, 18, said he was relaxing outside his aunt's house when the gunman walked through a parking lot and opened fire. Though police listed Stovall's address as a building on North Dearborn Street downtown, Boss said he recognized him as living around the corner in West Englewood. Boss said he's not sure what spurred the shooting. He just run up and got to shooting, Boss said. He shot at the whole crowd. Stovall ran into a nearby home in the 6300 block of South Damen Avenue, and officers arrested him on his way out, according to a police report. He was identified as the shooter by a witness, police said. Boss said he was hit 2 times in the upper back. 4 others sustained non-life-threatening wounds, police said, including a 16-year-old girl whose arm was grazed by a bullet. 2 men and a woman, all 21, were also shot.
But eventually, the streets always collect. See, for years, Lil Mino had built this untouchable image around his name. The shorty from Nuneworld, the Englewood Menace, the dude who people saw beat 6 attempted murders. The rumors made him bigger than life. But by 2016, things around Englewood was boiling over. Bodies dropping, basketball courts turning into crime scene, everybody sliding for somebody. And on July 9th, 2016, everything changed. According to court documents, a deadly shooting happened at Ogden Park during a basketball game in Englewood. Witnesses said tension started after an argument during the game. Then shots rang out. A young man named Glenell Fairley was killed, and another victim, King Collier, survived being shot. Court testimony claimed William Stovall was the shooter. Witnesses described seeing somebody in a red hoodie firing shots near the court while people ran everywhere in panic. And unlike the older cases, this one stuck. At first, people were scared to talk. The documents even describe witnesses being terrified to come forward because the shooting happened in Englewood. That's Chicago street politics. Everybody knows something. Ain't nobody want to say nothing. One witness admitted he delayed speaking because he feared retaliation. Another witness said the neighborhood rules in Englewood were different than everywhere else. That fear, that paranoia, that's really what the streets become after a while. Not respect, but fear. And eventually, detectives started building the case, piece by piece. Photo arrays, witness statements, Facebook searches, old connections. Then the walls started closing in. After a jury trial, William Stovall was convicted of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and aggravated battery with a firearm. The same dude the street seen beat 6 attempts finally got hit with a conviction that changed everything. He was sentenced to 45 years for murder, 25 consecutive years for attempted murder, and additional time for aggravated battery. That's when the reality finally hit. Because in Chicago, you could survive the streets for years, beat cases, duck death, outsmart enemies, but eventually one mistake can erase all of it. One moment, one night, one shooting, And suddenly the same person people feared becomes another name inside DLC paperwork. And once the conviction happened, social media did what it always does. Everybody became detectives. Everybody had rumors. Some people said he turned up after Bang Bang from S-Dub died. Others claimed bodies started dropping behind the scenes after certain losses. Then came accusations online, saying he eventually gave information in exchange for time off. That was eventually proven with paperwork. In the streets of Chicago, when you winning, you legendary. But when you lose, everybody suddenly got stories about you. And that's what made the Lil Mino story so tragic. Because underneath all the rumors, all the legends, all the fear, was another Englewood kid raised in survival mode. A kid who grew up in the neighborhood where violence became normal before adulthood ever started. The stroller rumors made people laugh. 6 attempts made people respect them. But the ending looked just like so many other Chicago stories. Courtrooms, prisons, dead friends, and broken families. That's the part the streets never glamorize, because every hood legend story usually ends the same way. A graveyard or a cell. But every street story got an expiration date. Eventually the same environment that made Mino dangerous started swallowing everybody around him too. Homies dead, homies locked up, mothers crying, candles on corners, and social media made everything worse. Because now every death became content, every arrest became a meme, every rumor became entertainment. The streets stopped being just the streets, they became performance. And young dudes started trying to live up to reputations they created online. That's one of the saddest parts of Chicago. A lot of these shorties died trying to protect an image. And I think that what we can learn from the story of Lil Mino is this. At the end of the day, Lil Mino's story ain't really about one person. It's about Englewood. It's about what happens when kids inherit wars they never started. When survival become culture. When funerals become normal. When mothers gotta pray every time they hear sirens. Because behind every dangerous name was once a little boy. Before the guns, before the gang, before the rumors. And now, most of the people from them old wars either dead, locked up, hiding, or mentally stuck in survival mode forever. That stroller rumor people laugh about now, truthfully, that's one of the darkest parts of the whole story. Because it shows how normal violence became. How creative people got trying to survive and attack at the same time. That ain't funny when you really think about it. That's trauma. Chicago trauma. This has been another episode of Chiraq Street Legends. It's your boy, SNTV. I'm out.
I got rolling on my beat.
I'm from the city where them niggas love to hate. Bitch, I'm all gas, no break. I'ma cut the grass for the snake. He say he gon' check me our way. Call 1-800 AK-47. Call 1-800 AK-47. Call 1-800 AK-47. I pray to God I send no bitch nigga to heaven. Mayday, mayday, so many AKs call me KK. I'm about to have a good time, ain't talking about no JJ. Pull up on the block with a car full of nickels. Ain't talking about no change, I'm talking about them pistols. That Nina, when she kiss you, she sizzle and sever tissue. That 50 ain't gon' miss you, the bullets look like some missiles. I call that bitch the whistle, cause when it blow it's official. Magazines on deck for niggas that want an issue. I send a word to them, my hitters gon' come and get you. Close a nigga casket, mama gon' really miss you. Everybody shedding tears, yo, people gon' need some tissue. You gon' get smoked, you fuck with finesse chisel. I'm from the city where them niggas love to hate. Bitch, I'm all gas, no 1-800-AK-AK-47. Yeah. Call 1-800-AK-AK-47. Yeah. Call 1-800-AK-AK-47. Yeah. I pray to God I